Hey everybody, Scott Wilkinson here at CEDIA Expo 2013. I'm in the Epson booth talking with Jason Palmer about the new Epson projectors this year.
How you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing well.
Great. So let's start with the Home Cinema 5030, which is a new introduction here at the show.
Yeah, so this is a new product I think is very exciting for the AVS crowd. This is a 1080p. It's a replacement for our Home Cinema 5020 UB. This is the Home Cinema 5030 UB. And the big difference here is it's got all the goodies that the 5020 had. The contrast ratio has been super boosted up. So the former contrast ratio was 320,000 to 1. The new one is 600,000 to 1. And we're accomplishing that despite keeping that 2,400 lumens of color and white light output. So very exciting in that
How
sense.
did you manage to increase the contrast ratio? And I assume by deepening the black level.
Well, so definitely the black level is getting deepened, and I think if you watch the demonstration, I hope you will be able to relay that to everybody, that the grayscale is great, that it's creating like inky blacks, but you can also sort of really see the gradation. We're showing Oz in there, and it looks really, really good.
Cool.
But I'll say this is how it happened. Mostly it's general improvements to the projector. The biggest thing is the tolerance on our auto iris has become much tighter. So the black is much blacker. And I have a 5020
As
in
I
my
do.
house with an SI screen.
Right.
And I will say that the 5030 looks a lot better.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, dude. I want one too.
man.
I want it too. So I'm going to have to lobby for my own.
All right.
But it's so that's a big spec difference. I think what's not sort of indicated in the specifications is general improvement to all of the other components, to the super resolution and frame interpolation, to 3D and everything else. There's no crosstalk. I mean, the product looks great.
Fantastic.
It's really cool.
And this is a product that people can buy and set up themselves as DIY home theater guys.
They can buy it at major retailers and, of course, at online at a lot of the partners that I know AVS has.
Right.
And I'll make one other point on spec that I think is pretty cool.
Please.
It's kind of niche, but I think there's going to be some enthusiasts. It's got a black and white cinema mode.
Oh, right. I remember hearing about that.
It's cool. It's so basically, if you're a fan of like Casablanca or Citizen Kane or any black and white movie or any of the old classics, it has a color mode that's been specially created in particular. For example, it's 5400 Kelvin.
5400 Kelvin, right.
So it's got it's so night and day in terms of how it presents those movies, very much like the way the director would intend back when they were made. Very sepia rich instead of that very stark black and white from like a horror movie.
Very cool. That is very cool. Okay, moving up the line, you've got a couple of Pro Cinema models which are not available at retail. You have to get them through a custom installer. We'll show them to folks here as we go. But what's the word on those? The 4030 and the 6030.
Yeah, so we have two new products in the Pro Cinema lineup. The 4030 is a very new product. We don't really have another version of it. It's sort of taking the place of what's called the Pro Cinema 9350. It's quite different. It's 2D and 3D. It's 120,000 to 1 contrast ratio. It's a center lens design, which is different than its predecessor.
Right.
Same Fujinon lens assembly with the great lens shift that the 5030 frankly has.
Right.
Not quite the performance, frankly, of the 5030, but great for the entry-level CEDIA guy. And then we have the 6030, Pro Cinema 6030 UB, that is quite comparable to the 5030. The big distinction there is you get some extra goodies for extra money.
Yeah.
And it's really meant for a custom installer. So you get an extra lamp, you get an extra mount, you get a cable cover, and you get a 3rd-year warranty. And I should note that regardless of whether you get the Home Cinema 5030 or the Pro Cinema, it comes with this replacement warranty. So it's a very simple, the consumer can call. We overnight or 48-hour a new unit, and we pay for the return shipping of the old unit. It's a fantastic service.
Wow. And then finally, I was very interested to learn last week or so, you have a new very high brightness projector coming out, which is great for in installations where you don't necessarily have a blacked out room, and you still want that punchy picture.
Yeah, so we have, we've always been cognizant of this, right? This has always been important to us. Even the 5030 is 2,400 lumens of white and color
and that's
brightness.
Before we go on, I want to make sure we mention that color brightness is something that Epson has championed, wherein you can sometimes, if you display a white image, you get one brightness level. And if you display the color, if you add the colors together, you get a different brightness level. Epson is championing the idea that those two levels should be the same.
That's right. And in all Epson projectors, those lumens are the same. So if you got to look at a fact tag and it says 2400 lumens of color, that means white and color brightness are both 2400
the same.
lumens.
Yeah.
And I will say that can create a very bright image if you couple that with like a light refracting screen.
Right.
The 2400 lumens is a light cannon in itself, so you can do a lot.
But
if
the
you
6900
need to get even brighter, we do have a 6,000 lumen projector called the 6900 that's in our new Pro Cinema lineup. It's got a lot of goodies in terms of processing. It's got Furuja DCDI, cinema processing. It's got frame interpolation, and picture, split screen picture. Lots of good home entertainment stuff. But it's 6,000 lumen. It's really meant for either very large theater room screens, or more importantly, probably those very bright rooms where you need even more than 2400 lumens and a good screen.
Right.
That's what we got there.
So what are we talking about price-wise here on the 4 models we've talked about?
So the 5030 is $25.99. 5030 UB.
Yep.
I will mention there's a 5030 UBE, which is the wireless HD version, so you don't need to run cables, HDMI, uncompressed 1080p.
Right.
That's $28.99.
Okay, so you add a little bit for that.
So about $300 for that.
Okay.
And then
the 4030.
The 4030 is $24.99. And the 6030 is $34.99. And then the 6900 is $74.99.
Yeah, you're paying for all that light output, and reasonably so.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for talking with us.
Absolutely. My pleasure.